So if someone saw you walking down the street in Salem, how would they know you?
I'm tall.
They say that's the guy from...
That's the guy from Notch. Yeah. Yeah, I guess because I'm here a lot, that people recognize me and they see me, and I am a fairly tall person, so I stand out quite a bit. And I live down the street, so I'm always walking around. So I'm not driving a lot; I'm walking. So yeah, that's how people know me.
When did you start Notch Brewing?
I started 2010, and I started it obviously not in Salem, but I started basically as this kind of gypsy contract brewer. Where I went to other breweries and produced beer at their locations, and I scratched it out for about 3 years by myself. Then I hired Zach from Salem as well as my first sales and brand rep, and that really changed everything. And that got us going and got us momentum to build volume to this place could come to fruition.
What did you do prior to being a beer brewer? Was it a logical progression from one thing to the next?
It's pretty much all I've ever done.
Really?
So, yeah. After college, I went to brewing school in Chicago, and I apprenticed under a couple of British brewers, and I started brewing professionally in 1993. So it's really, I would not be very good at anything else at this point. This Notch Taproom better work because I don't have a backup plan.
So what was how do you transition from, like you said, a gypsy brewer going from using other people's stuff to because you just expanded Notch recently, didn't you?
Yeah, and I had done this all before. I owned a brewery in Boston, and I've been a brewer and a production brewery and all that, so I knew what to do. I wanted to get to a point where it was viable. I couldn't raise money around an idea. I had to kind of show people it. So once I got to the point that we had considerable volume in Massachusetts, we were able to do it. And so that's the step to building the brewery was something I've done before, and being a production brewer was something I've done before. So that was not the hard part. The hard part was convincing people to give you money.
Mm. Was being in Salem part of the way that you were able to convince people to give you money instead of trying to do this in Boston or in a larger community?
Yeah, a lot of our investor group's not large. It's all individuals, and a good portion of them live in the North Shore. Salem 5 is our bank, and they've been really good to us in terms of giving us a line of credit and construction loan, et cetera. So yeah, it was definitely a local community-based thing that if I had put this somewhere else, even 2 towns away, it might have been more difficult. And I'm from here, my family's from here, so there was that tie-in as well. So yeah, it all made sense, and I don't know this could have replicated itself somewhere else.
How long have you lived in Salem, all said and done?
Including childhood?
Sure.
I don't know, half my life. I lived for a while in Boston, college and that, and after college, yeah, but I've been here for a long time.
Did you circle back to Salem on purpose? Like, was it like, I'm going to go home? Was it this is where I can do this, so I'm going to do it there?
So my grandmother died, I don't know, right around 2000. And, rest in peace, she lived a good life, but she had a home that was also the home of my great-grandparents, who bought that home when they immigrated from Warsaw, Poland. And so there's some deep roots here. So when that house became available, I was living in Boston, and I bought it off. I bought it off the estate. My grandmother didn't have a lot of money. I mean, she worked in the Parker Brothers factory, so her retirement fund was not large. So when I say I bought it from the estate, it's kind of joking. But I bought the house, and slowly over the last 15 years, I've renovated it.
And that's where you live now?
That's where I live now.
Yeah. What do you do on a daily basis to make Salem a better place?
As a brewer with a public-facing tap room and beer garden, we try really hard to make sure our community is always involved. And then everything we do looks to the local community first before we try to do anything from a promotional standpoint. We have to promote our brand. That's how we survive.
Sure.
We need awareness. But we try to do it in a way that we can bring in the rest of the community. So no matter what we do, we try to make that tie-in. Everything from having A&J King do our pretzels. So when we do some types of events, that we make sure that we have an open market around Christmas time. It's as much local vendors as we can. Mm-hmm. So we always try to tie that in. And we're starting a new trivia night with Lee Wolf from the Shanty, and the focus of the trivia is not going to be on ridiculous pop culture stuff. It's going to be on Salem.
Huh.
And because what we realized, we brainstormed. There's many distinct communities in Salem. I mean that by like different things that people like and enjoy, and we're going to try to tie that all in so that people can come in, and you may not know the person next to you, but you all have this connection in Salem in some kind of freaky, weird way that's fun. Yeah.
What's changed about Salem? Because it seems like you guys are on the almost kind of the crest of the wave of the quote unquote new Salem. Once it really seemed to me, I've been here for maybe dozen years or so. But it seemed like there was this wave of new Salem that kind of washed over in the last decade or so. What are the most obvious changes since you grew up here to you? What are the biggest changes that you've seen?
It's more like it used to be. And people think it's changing for something new.
How do you mean?
My grandmother never owned a car. She walked to everything and bought everything locally. And you're starting to see that Salem, you can now afford those things. You can afford the ability to walk out of your front door and walk and get a lot of things you need. It's not there yet, but it's getting there. Because Salem was gutted by malls, and then you had to get in your automobile and go do things.
Yeah.
And now you don't need to do that. So I think it's becoming more like it used to be, which is ironic to me, or maybe coincidental. I'm not an English major. It's that,
He's a brewer, folks.
that some of the old school folk here, who I know, think Salem's going in a bad direction, and I keep telling them it's becoming more like it used to be. I mean, there are retail. There's thriving retail downtown again. There's a thriving restaurant scene, and it's not what it was in the 1980s when this place was much different and it was not pretty.
Yeah.
So I think it's more like it used to be.
It sounds like you like that. Like it's.
Yeah, you want your community to be thriving. You want
Back to the future kind of thing.
Yeah, you want the storefronts rented with interesting things and interesting people inhabiting them and people doing different businesses and manufacturing things. And you look around the town, there's a lot of things, and not everyone knows everything that's going on, but it's a pretty diverse, unique community that I'm fascinated that it's come back this way. When I moved here, around 2000, 2001, I didn't. Everyone always talked about the potential of Salem to be this, and it took a while to get here. But I'm glad we're here.
Cool. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks for having me.